My little 150.
Well, I bought her in the buy and sell in 1992. A travelling man in the caravan said, "This is the bike for you." He was looking for £100, well I gave him 82. Well, I took her for a spin on the Kinnigan Road and we got cheap and flew. Oh, my little 150, she's rapid and she's nifty. She'll get you away from the guards any day. Oh, my little 150, she's rapid and she's nifty. She'll do 150 on a windy day. Well, I drove her into Newbridge. I was looking for a couple of parts, like alloy wheels and nitros and a new push-button start. Then I headed down to Robertstown to drop in for a beer. 85 over the bridge in second gear. Oh, my little Honda 50, she's rapid and she's nifty. She'll get you away from the guards any day. Oh, my little Honda 50, she's rapid and she's nifty. She'll do 150 on a windy day. I was heading out from Robertstown going towards Timahoe. Well, I saw the guards behind me, Sergeant Kelly, don't you know? I said, oof, just me luck, and I hit the old nitro. By the time they'd hit Bucket Cross, I was in Timahoe. My little Honda 50, she's rapid and she's nifty. She'll get you away from the guards any day. Oh, my little Honda 50, she's rapid and she's nifty. She'll do 150 on a windy day.
Well, there, that was Seamus Moore there. My little 150. Now I'm joined by the great man himself on the line.
Hello?
Hello, Seamus, you there?
I am, yeah. Is that Declan, is it?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for joining me today on my show here on Sunshine Radio.
Where are you based in Armagh, is it?
Yeah. Would you tell me just a little bit about what's been happening for you over the last few months?
Well, I've had a really good summer, Declan. I was playing all over Ireland there for the months of July, August and September. And I'm actually in Bundoran today. I was playing in Bundoran here for the Bank Holiday Festival here in the Allium. And, you know, so I'm actually based in London, as you probably know.
Yeah. Your public house that you was running since 2010, and unfortunately it closed down earlier on this year.
Yeah, I sold it earlier on in March time there, Declan. But I'm actually in the process of taking over another bar now in the Shepherd's Bush area of London.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I'll be opening that on the 17th of November.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, we would certainly love to see that. I'll probably try and get along to that myself.
Yeah, do you live in London, do you?
Yeah. I live in southeast London, just
right.
past West Norwood.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is in Shepherd's Bush now, so it wouldn't be too far.
Yeah.
That's close, like, yeah.
Yeah. Your CD, Poking Mad, I think that's what it's called.
That's the latest CD, yeah.
Yeah. Would you just tell me just a little bit about recording that and how you chose the songs for that?
Yeah, well, basically, down through the years, Declan, I don't do a lot of writing myself, apart from the JCB Song and maybe bits and pieces, but people keep sending me songs all the time. Obviously, I just put them away until it's time to do an album, and then I just pick out the most topical ones, or the kind of, as you know, my old trip would be a kind of a comedy kind of a thing. But so I just keep them, and then such time as I'm ready to do a CD, I just pick out maybe the 12 or 13 best songs that I've got at the time, and you know, so these ones, most of these ones on my new CD are actually all originals.
Okay, yeah. And that CD, where is that actually available to purchase?
Well, it's you can get it through Sharp Records or Sharp Records in Dublin, or that guy in Dungannon, Stuart's music shop. But it should be on general release there. It's been out since I think July now, so it should be on general release. But I do have some copies. I'll be able to send you a copy of it for your show if you get me your let me have your address.
Yeah. I'll suddenly give you my address, so you can
Yeah.
send me a copy of that. Yeah. What else? Seamus, do you be a fairly big tour that you I think I would call it a tour or dates that you've been doing since September, but do you have anything else lined up from now till Christmas or
Uh,
early next year?
no, I had intended coming back to Ireland to do a Christmas tour, but I'm going to put that on hold at the moment because, as I say, I'm taking over this bar in London, and I'd probably need to be there around the Christmas time. So I put the Christmas thing on hold, but I normally come back, and I'm normally in Ireland for July, August, September every year.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give one of your songs from one of your old CDs that I haven't got the songs from the new CD yet, but I'm gonna play one of those songs now and just hold on and I'll be back in a second.
Okay, no problem.
I left school a while ago when I got myself a job. The crack is good on the building sites and I make a few old bob. I bought a Ford Fiesta, me pride and joy is she. If they're stopping round the border, won't you flash the lights at me? Flash the lights at me, flash the lights at me. Use the code of the border road and flash the lights at me. I paid the old insurance and it cost me a couple of grand. I'm now stone broke and that's no joke, I'm sure you'll understand. I have no money left at all for the pay for an MOT. If they're stopping round the border, won't you flash the lights at me? Flash the lights at me, flash the lights at me. Use the code of the border road and flash the lights at me. The tires are nearly baldy and I have no tax at all. There's a drop of red in the diesel tank that could be my downfall. If the customs they are dipping, or the boys in blue you see, if they're stopping round the border, won't you flash the lights at me? Flash the lights at me, flash the lights at me. Use the code of the border road and flash the lights at me. Sometimes on a Sunday to Jonesborough I go. I might have a couple of squibs in the boot, tapes or videos. I might have a load of poaching or a drop of duty free. If they're stopping round the border, won't you flash the lights at me? Flash the lights at me, flash the lights at me. Use the code of the border road and flash the lights at me. We're crafty round the border, that's how we have to be. We like to get the better of the customs and authorities. We've been there before, so we know the score, we've a simple philosophy. If the thing's not right, be it day or night, just flash the lights at me. Flash the lights at me, flash the lights at me. Use the code of the border road and flash the lights at me. Flash the lights at me, flash the lights at me. Use the code of the border road and flash the lights at me. Just use the code of the border road and flash the lights at me.
Well, that was Flush the Lights at Me there. That was from Seamus Moore. Now I return back to the line to speak to Seamus again. Hello, Seamus, you still there?
Hi, Declan. Yeah, that was a big hit for me. That Flash the Lights. It was
Yeah,
still a
yeah,
very popular song in my program. I get a lot of requests for it.
yeah. You also, I was reading your website yesterday, and I saw that My Little 150 was a big song for you as well. Would you tell me a little about that song?
The 150 basically was a song that was written by a guy from County Kildare. He was he's living actually in Sweden, I think, at the minute. But I actually met him a few times in the Hazel Hotel in Monasterevin when it was up and running. And he wrote a lot of songs, but he gave me this CD, and of course the 150 was on it, and I recorded, put my own stamp on it, and it was a big hit for me, and it's still very popular as well. A fellow called Tom Toohey was the name of the guy that wrote the song. I think Christy Moore actually recorded it as well.
Yeah. If you could pick any of the songs that you've recorded, I know you've recorded many songs, but if you could pick one song, what would you say is your favorite song that you've recorded?
I would have to say, Declan, I would have to say it was the Transit Van, because the Transit Van is still a very, very popular song. It was recorded back in 1996, would you believe, when it first hit the airwaves, and it gave me a new lease of life. I had actually recorded the JCB Song back in 1987, and it kept me going for a number of years. A very popular song too. But I recorded a song, as I said, the Transit Van, and it just took off. Something like you would say, like the wagon wheel for Nathan Carter. It gave me a new lease of life. And I would have to say that was the most popular song, because up to this day it's still a very popular song.
Yeah,
It's actually my most requested song, and I know for a fact there's people at parties would be telling me to be singing the Transit Van at parties and that, and so it's a very, very popular song. And it's been very good to me, the Transit Van. So I would have to say the Transit Van.
yeah. And your song, which also gives you your name, is the JCB Man. Would you tell me a little about that song, the JCB song?
The JCB Song, basically, when I was running a bar in London back in the early 80s, I was playing. I had a band, and I was playing, and I used to do a party for a guy in London, contractor, and we wrote this song about him because he had JCBs and all that, and I just didn't do much with it, and I went up to a weekend, an Irish weekend in Southport near Manchester, and there was a talent competition, and somebody actually put my name up to sing a song for the talent competition, and I sang the JCB song. I got into the final, won the final, the talent competition with the JCB song. A guy called Bill Delaney, who used to run IMB Records at the time, was running the week, and he gave me a recording contract. We done a mini tape with 4 songs on it.
Yeah,
Hodgins Party was on it. The 6'7" Woman, the Town of Ballybay, and the JCB Song, and it just really took off from there. Of course, all the local pirate stations were going at the time, and every pirate station in Ireland was playing the JCB Song, and so that's how that came about. And it's been a big seller for me, a big hit for me through the years. But that's nearly 30 years ago now, 1987.
yeah, yeah. You've also recorded a few songs with Richie Kavanagh. How was that with recording a song with Richie Kavanagh?
Well, I done an album with Richie. I done 6 songs, I think, and Richie done 6 songs. But we done a duet then as well. Richie Won't Be Here Anymore, I think was the name of the song. Yeah, it's just an album I done with Richie. But I would love to, and before I stop recording, I'd love to do an album of Richie Cavanagh songs because Richie would be a big hero of mine, and I love Richie stuff. Unfortunately, Richie is not in the best of health at the moment. He's not too well, but Richie to me was one of my favorites because I mean, he's a man that every song he's recorded, he wrote himself. He's a genius. He's a great man. I love his stuff.
Yeah.
I would love to record an album of his songs before I finish recording.
Yeah. I've got a few people here that want to say a big hello to you. I've got Thomas Ward from Lockery, which wants to say hello to you.
Hello, Thomas. I think I'm on with him he's on a new station. I think next week. I think I'm doing an interview with him. I think it's Monday, so looking forward
Yeah,
to that.
yeah. He told me that last night. You on Elite Country Radio.
Elite, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, and also
I met him recently down in Loughrea.
yeah. He's a good friend of mine as well. He was on Lockery Country Radio, so I was on there as well. Sadly, that station's closed down at the
I
moment.
believe
So
so. Yeah, I think I see that on Facebook. Yeah.
yeah. Also, Cathy Lydon from London wants to say a big hello to you as well.
Hello, Cathy. I can't say as I know her, but she probably knows me all right. But if
Yeah,
the name doesn't ring a bell, but hello, Cathy. How are you?
yeah, and also Brian from Gypsy Hill wants to say hello to you as well.
Brian from
Gypsy Hill.
in South London.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I know. I know that. I know Frank Henley's pub there in the Gypsy Hill Tavern. Is it?
Pardon?
I know Frank Henley that runs a bar there in Gypsy Hill, the Gypsy Hill Tavern.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. I know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Rosalind Moore from Coleraine, Northern Ireland wants to say a big hello to you as well.
Who is it?
Rosalind Moore from Coleraine in Northern Ireland.
Probably. Yeah. Hello, Rosie. How are you?
And yeah,
Enjoy the weekend.
yeah. I think that's all. Everyone wants to say hello to you. Yeah.
Very
If you could sing a duet with anyone else, I know you've sung one with Richie Kavanagh, but if you could sing a duet with anybody else, who would it be?
I think Mick Flavin.
Yeah. Okay.
Mick could be one of my heroes too.
Yeah.
Or Declan Ernie, one of the two.
Yeah. Declan and he's one of the favorite artists of mine as well.
I'm actually in the pipeline. I met Derek Ryan at the ploughing championships, and he was speaking to me, and he said that he had a song that he had written that he wanted me to do a duet with him. It's called a song called "You're Some Trucker." So whether that'll come to pass or not, I don't know. But if it does, I'll be looking forward to that. Doing a
Okay.
duet with Derek Ryan.
Yeah. You just mentioned the ploughing championships. What is that? Because I've seen that.
Well, it's the biggest outdoor event in Europe, Declan. It's held every year for 3 days, usually around the Tullamore to Offaly, that area. It was in Tullamore this year. It was on for 3 days, 1,700 trade stands, and that's the actual biggest outdoor event in Europe. And it's actually getting bigger and bigger. It's held every September, for 3 days in September in a location around Leinster, probably. As I said, it was Tullamore this year. It'll be Tullamore again next year. It's always around the middle of September. A very, very big event.
Okay. Yeah. And your biggest influences in the music business. Who are your biggest influences?
Well, I'm at heart. I'm a country music fanatic. I've been collecting country music all my life. Of American country music mostly, and I would have to say maybe one of my favorites of all time was Gene Watson.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you for having me on, Declan. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, because
And the
I'm.
best of luck with the station.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining me, and you're always welcome to come back on my show again.
Thank you very much, Declan.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.
Enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There's a man, John Rattigan, he's a man of high renown. He's in the plant hire business here in London town. He has a load of wagons, American a Model T. The pride of his possession is his yellow JCB. Well, he takes her down to Tony's, to the Bell and to the Crown, and the engine runs on diesel oil, it never lets him down. He takes it down to Conway Street, only for the crack, with Rattigan at the steering wheel and Frank Riley in the back. The inside of the JCB is a sight to behold. It's got curtains on the windows of colours green, white and gold. He has a photograph of Cowan from the Doll in Dublin town, and there's still one of Maggie Thatcher, and it's hanging upside down. Well, he takes it down to Tony's, to the Bell and to the Crown, and the engine runs on diesel oil, it never lets him down. He takes it to Maloney's bar, only for the crack, with Riley at the steering wheel and Rattigan in the back. He doctored up the JCB to give it more horsepower, and thundered down through Cobble Road at 100 miles an hour. And when the cops came after him, Frank Riley effed and blind, he stuck it into overdrive and left them all behind. Well, he takes it to Maloney's, to the Bell and to the Crown, and the engine runs on diesel oil, it never lets him down. He takes it to the Kingdom Bar, only for the crack, with Riley at the steering wheel and fingers in the back. They built an international airport in a place that's known as Knock. When the Monsignor first turned the Sodger, he got an awful shock. There beneath the heather, the water ran so free, he said, I'll send for Riley and Flannery's JCB. Well, he takes her down to Tony's, to the Bell and to the Crown, and the engine runs on diesel oil, it never lets him down. He takes it down to Jameson's bar, only for the crack, with Rattigan at the steering wheel and Flannery in the back. When the Pope he went to Mayo, sure he had a Pope-mobile, a great machine on tarmac, but no good in the fields. When his chopper flew into Knock, what did John decree? He said, I'll send for Rattigan and Turin Mangan's JCB. Well, he takes it to Maloney's, to the Bell and to the Crown, and the engine runs on diesel oil, it never lets him down. He takes it to Maloney's, but only for the crack, with Riley at the steering wheel and fingers still in the back. When Frank Riley goes a-courting with Sue Ellen by his side, he might go by London Transport or take the rally bike. He might go on Shanks's pony, that's Riley. When he goes down to Conway Street, he takes the old JCB. Well, he takes it down to Tony's, to the Bell and to the Crown, and the engine runs on diesel oil, it never lets him down. He takes it down to Chivers, but only for the crack, with Riley at the steering wheel and Sue Ellen stuck in